Good evening and welcome to the Onyx Path Twitch channel. I am Tam and I will be the storyteller for this game this evening. I wanted to drop in real quick and say I hope some of you joined us for the virtual horror con. It was really good. We had some great games, some really interesting workshops. It was a lot of fun. Coming up on Onyx Path channel this week, we have some really great streams coming up. I truly suggest you look in on Become as Gods. It's been a very interesting Scion 2E game. Vorpal Tales has a few things on here too, which is great. The Kickstarter just finished for Scion Dragon. I don't know of another one that's up here right at the moment. Coming up on Mixtabber Studios, where Haunted Chronicles also streams. Tomorrow night we have 7th Sea, which is our swashbuckling pirate adventure. And then on Wednesday we have Wraith Life Derailed, where several of us play dead people in a Mixtabber Studios game. Let's see. Saturday, Blades in the Dark, I think. Okay. But we'll be back. Did anybody else have announcements? Here I am just running my mouth, not thinking of anybody else. All right. We'll be back right after this. The following stream contains mature language and themes. Subjects that may be disturbing to some individuals will arise. Viewer discretion is advised.
Watching. They're watching. They're always watching. This not right. Well, hello. So you've come to speak with your boy Twitch yet again this week. Looks like this cohort hired a bear to handle surveillance. No, and I'm not talking, it's not convoy, it's not Smokey Bear. It's an actual bear. Which makes me wonder, does it have the right stuff for the job? They even got to finally meet the big guy. You know, just because you get to find out the lowdown on the murder, what I don't understand is why you would leave after meeting the big guy in a car with a pink mustache on the front. Have some respect. And seriously, people think I'm the one who's insane. I'm always talking I'm being watched, but I tell you I am being watched. Didn't you see the bunny across the street? Had a dead look in its eyes, and it's definitely out to get me. Well, as the song goes, every bunny loves somebody sometime. Those are words to live by from your boy Twitch. We'll be talking. And they are there. I know they're watching. They are watching.
All right, and welcome back to Haunted Chronicles Stuff, Chapter 8. We left off last week. The cell had gone to meet Mr. Big, all except for one person who didn't make that journey, and that was Harley. She went and did something else. Harley, why don't you let us know what you're up to during that time frame that they were away?
So, ever since the very beginning, Harley has been very suspicious and cautious of the man who approached them on the bus, which we discovered was Denny Matthews. So, considering we still haven't looked into that lead yet, I would definitely be interested in going to pursue that.
All right. So after everything gets set up with your surveillance bear, what's the bear's name again? What was it, Eddie? I know you
Lovey.
helped pick it. I know
It's
Eddie loved the
Lovey.
name. I mean, Eddie
Lovey.
just liked that name so much. What was that name, Eddie?
Lovey.
Lovey.
I just had to get him to say it. So everyone else heads out. You head out a different path. Are you going to walk or are you going to get a vehicle?
How far would it be of a walk?
Probably about a mile. Not too bad.
I'd probably just walk.
Okay. Are you taking your new weapon with you?
Yes.
All right. Very good. So you walk along. It's, it's Chicago. There are wolf whistles. What do you call it when a female does a wolf whistle? Is that still a wolf whistle or is it? I don't know. I'm seriously asking.
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, anyway, you get whistles from all around. I mean, because it's Chicago, late night.
Sure.
Few drunks going around, a few people who might be on something other than drink, and you arrive at the pawn shop. Lights on. They're open.
Great. I'll enter.
You enter and you see the guy sitting behind the counter that was there before. You recognize him. The bell rings as you walk through. He looks up and just waves at you and then looks back down at what he's doing.
Oh, hi. How are you?
He smiles and waves.
I was hoping to speak to Mr. Matthews if he's here.
And so this big guy stands up, kind of has to uncurl himself from the seated position because he is a big guy. And he turns and looks around the corner and you hear as he says, "Boss, someone wants to see you." Then he goes and kind of curls himself back down into his seat.
Thank you.
And a couple minutes later, Denny comes walking around the corner, straightening his tie. Phillips, Harley Phillips, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, actually. Denny Matthews.
Yes. Well, what do I owe this pleasure?
Oh, I am afraid our encounter on the bus was not as pleasant as I think either of us hoped it would go. My friends and I have been caught up in quite a bit of stuff, and you had given my friend Penelope a panda bear. Is that correct?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Black-haired girl?
Yes.
Wearing worker jeans. Yeah.
Yes. I had a couple questions about that panda as well as the other stuff you had given us.
Oh, sure. Well, anything. And he just kind of leans up against the counter. Would you like some coffee?
Sure. I'd love some coffee.
Well, come on in the back.
Okay.
And he takes you back in the
She'll go.
office where he has an old style, very fancy espresso machine.
Ooh.
How do you like it?
Oh, honestly, just usually just a flat black. Whatever works.
All right. And he goes to work and he's like, well, have a seat. What are your questions? Go ahead. I can do this at the same time.
Well, I don't want to get too much into it, but we've just had some strange encounters recently with just a variety of people and things, and a lot of the stuff that I remember you were offering for sale, as well as that panda bear, has just been uh, involved at every scene. Are you aware of that? Was that intentional?
Um, you said every scene and involved in, and I guess no, I'm not really understanding. How is a stuffed teddy bear involved in things?
Well, um, I'm coming to you in confidence. I hope you understand that.
Of course, no problem.
Um, we've had experiences with this panda bear multiple times now. Initially, it seemed like a almost like a threat. There were movements. We thought someone had invaded Penelope's home. Actually, we showed up in her room, and the other teddy bears that she had been placed in the trash. And on her computer screen, actually, there was a picture of the panda bear, but no one else had been in the room except for that panda. And we've continued to see it move, felt it squeeze.
And
It's been rather alarming.
all this time he's been going along, and all of a sudden he hits the release valve, and you hear the as the steam comes out, and you notice it's hitting him full in the chest, and he's just frozen for a moment, and then he recovers and finishes your drink, and turns the steam off and sets it down on the counter, and you can just see his shirt is saturated from the steam.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I've got several layers on. I'm fine.
Okay.
So you're saying the bear moved. I provided that without any warranty. It was just something that was on the shelf.
Oh, that's
Uh,
okay.
um,
We don't plan to return it or anything. I just wanted to know if you knew anything about what's going on.
and he steps behind his desk and sits down, sets his drink on it, and puts his hand on the table in front of him and goes, "Who have you been talking to?"
I assume you know. He mentioned you by name.
All floppy dresser, lives in an alley,
Yes, sir.
smells like yesterday's trash,
Oh, well, I would go that far.
bad
Maybe today's
attitude,
trash, but not
poorly
yesterday's.
spoken.
Hmm. He's been quite kind to me, actually.
Oh, he has he?
Is that a
Mm.
bad thing?
You better watch yourself around.
Well, you were
All
the one
right, what
making
did he
flirtatious
just
advances the other day, so I assume I just have to watch myself around everyone at this point.
well, you're an attractive woman. You should always be careful. By the way, could I interest you? I have several self-defense projects over here, something that could be good for you. I have a taser gun, I have some pepper spray.
I'd love any of those, yes.
Well, I think we can probably work something out for that. No problem. We'll take a look at those. Now, what made you think to come talk to me about this bear? What did he say?
He didn't say a whole lot about you. You were one of the first person that I encountered whenever everything kind of started to hit the fan, per se. You were the one that gave the panda to Penelope, and there was the watch that you gave me. So far, that hasn't caused any problems, but
Why would it cause problems? It's a watch. It's a very nice watch. I carry a
on
fine selection of watches.
and the panda bear was a very fine panda until it moved, Denny.
Okay, I'm not. Now look. I've got a little bit of a sordid past. I come from a bad neighborhood, but I have been totally on the up and up. My business here is legitimate. We never go near the hedge.
Which
We just
neighborhood? Just out of curiosity. You don't have to say.
and he just leans over and he grabs your coffee cup and kind of slides it away from you a little bit and goes, "Are you here with the red dresses?"
No,
And he
no.
slides the coffee cup back over. So you haven't taken any kind of an oath or anything.
No, no. As far as I understand, the red dress has actually caused some inconveniences in terms of weaponry. So no, I'm not. We're
So
just
legitimately,
simply.
you're taking everything I say at face value.
Well, well, I understand what you mean by the
Oh, come
hedge.
on.
That's been mentioned to
Don't break
us.
my heart. I haven't been taken at face value in a long time.
Sure. Yes. What neighborhood?
What do you know about? And for a moment, his face shifts. His nose becomes very long. His chin protrudes and his back hunches and he goes, goblins. And then he's back to being himself.
Next to nothing, to be honest. I was never really a fantasy person growing up, so
Fantasy,
uh,
that hurts. That
oh,
hurts.
I didn't mean it like I'm still very new to this. I don't know what's offensive or not. I apologize.
Look, I'm a businessman. I'm doing legitimate business here. I didn't know about the bear. That just kind of happened my way. I guess you could say I came in, saw it, and figured it must have walked itself in onto the shelf.
It probably did, Denny, just so
Yeah,
you know.
but I was thinking more that's, figuratively, not literally.
Sure.
Um, and it wasn't in the books, so I figured Eli out there just kind of forgot to write it down. He's big here, but a little small up here.
Sure. Well,
Gosh,
I don't necessarily blame you. I just wanted to, if anything, clear your name and just make sure that you weren't part of what's going on and could potentially even be an ally as we deal with it.
ally. You mean that?
Sure.
Like a friend maybe? And again,
Of
his face
course.
shifts for a moment.
I can't speak on behalf of the entire group. They all are very
Okay,
strongly opinioned, but
just
I'm
just use enough.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
You've been nice and you've been honest as long as you truly have been honest, and I can tell. I'm pretty good about reading that kind of thing, so I wouldn't advise being dishonest with me.
and I thought you said you were taking it at face value. That's all right. Nobody ever trusts us. I mean, we run a store for 1,000 years, and what happens? Oh yeah, somebody goes, "Oh no, he put a curse on me. He put a hex on me. He must have stolen my
No,
baby."
I don't mean anything like that. I'm a professional. I have studied psychology. It's not that I'm taking you at face value as if you were a human, not as if you were
What do you
a
mean if I were a
goblin.
human? What are you talking about?
Just normally, like I would take anyone else. I just happen to not trust many people naturally with my job. You kind of have to look for the in betweens and sort things out in order to be able to help people.
The in-betweens. I like that phrase. I like you, Harley Phillips.
So far I
You're
like
all
you, Denny
right.
Matthews.
All right. All right. You're if you're if you if if
It's
you're
okay.
talking if you're talking to the alley trash, he's going to tell you sooner or later. My boy out there and we're kind of what you might call refugees.
Oh,
Um, you see, the elves and the fairies and the pixies, they kind of have this whole thing, tied up. And, well, my people are a proud people with a long and storied history. And unfortunately, it has been twisted by the lies of people like that that alley trash and like those elves and the pixies and the fairies and well, the people who write those the Brothers Grimm. I hated those guys. Never had a good word to say about my type of people.
Sure. Huh.
I'm gonna.
History is written by the winner, and often that's a failure.
Yeah, not by the person who makes the best purchases, not by the one who sold it. We can make all the deals in the world, but no, it's the guy who uses the magical axe that gets all the benefit. All we get is, oh, you stole my baby. Oh, you ate my dog. I mean, come on. Just a little slack.
Of course. Well, as far as I know, beyond potentially stealing from people, you're an upright person.
I have never stolen from an individual ever. I would rather cheat you out of it than steal.
How did you get that knife block? You purchased it from someone who did steal?
Yeah, but then I didn't steal it. See, I'm once removed. That makes me innocent.
Okay. I'll take that then. Well, do you, I suppose at this point then, do you have any advice for dealing with, I don't know, anything machine related?
Machine related. What kind of machine? Are we talking about a car, a tractor, a jackhammer type thing? One of those little things that the hand comes out of the box and takes your money?
Similar. It's stuffed animals that have mechanisms in them and emotions almost.
Mechanisms.
That's what we're up against right now.
So they're like little stuffed robots?
Almost, as far as I can tell. And they're being outfitted with weapons on, like, they get needles and forks that they've been and clawing with us with, and I don't know. I'm scared to see what else they can be outfitted with. It's been quite harrowing for a group of people who've never dealt with much of anything like this. So if you know anything, that would be helpful.
Well, I've never really had to deal with stuffed animals before. I've dealt with a couple of fetches, but they were made of straw and goat parts and a little bit of mule urine and I think some rotten apples. But you know what works on fetches? And he reaches under his desk and pulls out this little black box that he lays on the table, and he goes, 50,000 volts. That'll get their attention. So.
Sure. Oh, well, certainly. I mean, with a mechanical device, if you're able to get through the fluff and short circuit it, I suppose that would work well.
And you know what else would work good? Okay, well, first off, he shows you how to use the stun gun, and it's a small one. It's a handheld, and you get it, and
sure.
And he even takes a marshmallow and puts it in it and cooks the marshmallow in it.
Nice.
See, it's hot. It's hot. Fluff. Well, I assume you want to keep your distance. I think that's probably a good choice.
I kind of do, but unfortunately, one of the last encounters that we got into, I kept my distance, and people I care about got hurt. So I felt very helpless. I'd like to be more involved. They gave me this, and she'll show him the steak that she was given.
And as soon as you pull it back, he scoots back and goes, "Put it away. Put it away. I have a certain clientele here. Put it away. Oh. Don't bring that out in here. That would upset some of the people I know. You're welcome to do business here, but we don't pull out weapons against the Indrid K inside the Orstay, okay?
Okay.
They get a little sensitive about that kind of thing. So,
sure, I didn't know. As far as I can tell, it's just a cool stick.
Yeah. I can just tell you, I can smell it on there. That thing's been through the hearts of a few people, so I'd be a little well, people, is
Oh.
that the right term? Kind of give up being people, but anyway, it's not my place to judge.
Sure. I'll. It's put away. She.
Well, I know I've seen some other things that have been used, and it's not exactly probably good form, but and he pulls out a can of Aquanet hairspray
Cool.
and a lighter.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
you gotta be real careful with this stuff, okay? Give me just a minute.
I have younger brothers. I know how that works.
Oh, well, okay then. I guess you don't need the demonstration.
Oh,
He throws his
no,
stuffed
I
animal away.
think we're okay. Watch that stuffed animal, by the way. I'd keep an eye on it. I wouldn't necessarily throw it.
Can I see your steak for a minute?
Oh, sure, because she'll hand
And
it.
he walks over and jams it through its heart and comes back and goes, I think it's okay. Hands it back.
Okay.
And goes, and the rules are the rules, except when they're not the rules. So,
Of course.
well,
I know how
yeah.
that goes. Sure.
Do me a favor. Don't get yourself embraced. I like you too much. I'd hate to see you spending all your time in the nightlife.
Sure.
A face like yours deserves to see the sunlight.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And if you ever want to see the sunlight someday, I'd be happy to take you out for some coffee or maybe lunch or something.
Sure. That'd be fine.
Yeah, well, maybe one day I can go show you my other stall in the bigger market. But yeah, that's going to take a little while. We got to get some approvals for that because it's kind of a rough journey.
Of course. I definitely would be fine for coffee. I'd just like to make sure that my friends aren't being stabbed with knives before we do that, if that's okay.
Yeah. Sure. Well, well, you probably can't tell me because I know Alley Trash was always not wanting to tell me where he went, but he would come in here and buy stuff often enough, but he'd harass me the whole time.
Oh.
Him and that damn shovel of his.
Oh. It's a nice shovel, isn't it?
That shovel just stinks of bad things.
Well, it seems to be in good hands now, so I'm hopeful for it. Good. I saw that straw. That was great. Sorry.
Well, I'd love to offer you something a little stronger than these, but I'm afraid without some training and stuff, I don't want you to get in the middle of a fight,
Oh, no, I know. I think as long as I just feel like I'm helping, that's the goal. But for you, as friends, as allies, I think I'm not very skilled with weapons, but I've gained this ability to kind of be able to uh, trace, kind of sense memories, emotions off of certain items. It takes a lot out of me, but it can be very useful. So if someone tries to pawn you something you think might be related to everything that's going on with the stuffed animals or anything obviously stolen or anything you're even curious about, I'd be happy to come in and take a look at it more closely.
You notice as his hands slowly move back across the table and he goes, yeah, nice. So, anything you touch, huh? How about if it's wearing gloves?
Oh, I don't think I can do it to people or any living thing.
Okay. Okay. By the way, did you try touching the bear?
Oh, I think I did actually, and it just was kind of hard to read. But I'm willing to try again. It's just
Well, maybe that means it's not alive.
perhaps, yeah. I do think it might just be mechanical. It just some of these animals have just had just true, as someone like I said who detects emotions. Some of these animals have just been angry. It's rather frightening.
Well, I mean, you think about it, what kind of life do you have as a stuffed toy? I mean,
That's
it's
what
like,
I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I
somebody.
think some of these might have been abandoned or forgotten, and I even have suspicions that some of them might be on our side, because I mean, as a stuffed animal, you want to be a nurturer, something that cares for people, and to see others of your kind be weaponized is probably very unfortunate. So, um,
You get me. You get me. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You can't just look at one type of people and say, they're all this.
oh, of course.
I swear to you, I have never stolen and eaten a baby. Ever.
Okay. Do I believe him?
You can always do probably a composure, and you can use either empathy or subterfuge, whichever one you have.
Cool. I'll use empathy. Composure as well. Great. Let's see. 1 success, 2 success, 3 success, 4 successes.
He is not lying to you. He is quite earnest.
Hey.
Well, he is hiding some things, and at this point, you're pretty sure what they probably are. He is not lying to you about his emotions on these things, or that obviously he likes you.
Okay. Cool.
So, all right. Well, look, consider these a gift from me. And he slides over the stun gun, a couple of extra 9-volt batteries to go with it,
Awesome.
the can of hairspray, and the Bic lighter.
Perfect. She'll kind
We
of
are not sponsored by Bic or Aquanet. I'm just, you know.
she'll sort them out across her backpack and clothes and everything.
Wait. I got just the thing for you. And he disappears out of the room for a few minutes. How's your coffee, by the way?
Pretty good.
Yeah, he makes a good coffee.
It's a nice espresso machine. I mean, yeah.
Well,
and I asked for something simple, so very good.
And he comes back a moment later, and he's got, it's the equivalent of a dressy, made out of leather, Batman's utility belt. It doesn't have a Batman symbol on it, but you get the idea. It's this nice place to put all sorts of things and carry it very effectively.
That's awesome. She'll go ahead and put it on immediately.
Oh, he will attempt to put it around you.
Oh.
Are you going to let his arms go around you?
I'll let him assist me, but I won't let him do a full
and he kind of tried to, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And
no, it's okay. I was eager to put it. Yeah, it's fine.
If you don't mind me saying, I think it looks great on you.
Thank you. I don't have a whole lot to give you in return. I have some money.
This one's a gift. Just come back later with your friends, and you're not alley trash. He's not welcome in here.
Okay.
Okay. He's retired, which means that he doesn't think he has to pay for anything anymore.
Sure. He keeps mentioning the whole retired thing. So yes, I understand.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does.
Uppity about it. Very funny for someone who's helped us a lot to keep claiming he's retired. But thank you. I
helped you. Whatever.
Sorry.
Probably went on and on about the demons and how bad the goblins are and how they're always trying to rip you off and cheat you.
He really didn't talk about you a whole lot. He mentioned you, and he kind of.
But me? What do you mean me?
Well, I'm just saying he told us what was necessary for what we're doing, but when I mentioned you, he didn't seem like he didn't dislike you or anything. He just seemed he thought you might be a little shady. But not. I mean, just I'm sure not in a racist, specious way.
Yeah, you have a guy come in, and he's got a shovel, and he's got some ancient ruins that he's got stapled to the end of it, and he goes, "Hey, I'd like a silver spade on the end of this shovel." And what do? I make the trip all the way to the other side, and I get it made, and I bring it back for him. And he calls me shady.
Well, how about in my payment to you, I will attempt to tell him about how nice you are.
Oh, you had my hopes up. I thought you were going to put the stake through his heart.
No, no, not no. I don't plan on doing that. He seems like an upstanding fellow himself. I'm sure you both have, skeletons in your closet, and that's fine. Not literal skeletons. I'm not accusing you of
You ask him
killing
how many
things.
babies he's eaten. Yeah, let's see where that goes.
I will.
Sure, he'll
do that.
like that question. Yeah.
I'll do that then, if that's good payment. Oh,
All right.
and here you can have this as a promise that I'll come back with my friends. And she'll take her keys out, and there's a little chicken, like little plushy kind of chicken key ring, and she'll take it off and give it to him. And this is important to me. It reminds me of my family, so I won't leave it here without coming back.
Thank you.
Of course,
Thanks.
certainly.
And he's just absolutely just blown away that you handed him something.
Aw, take care of it, please. Chickens are very important to me.
I'll put it in the most prized place I have.
Wonderful. Well, I'd like to go make sure that everything is okay with my friends. But I'll be sure to let them know that you've been very helpful and could potentially help us some more while we're dealing with what we're dealing with. And if you come across anything or anyone threatens you or anything, don't be afraid to contact us in whatever way you can. I have your
Right.
business card still, so.
Oh, good. Okay. And so he will escort you out to the front door and wishes you a good evening and just kind of stands in the doorway waving at you.
she'll give a little wave and then walk back and then turn around and see he's still waving and wave again. Keep walking.
So as soon as you're out of vision of him, roll me a wits and composure.
Sure. That's no successes, but no failures. Oh wait, no, one failure. Yes. So that's a very bad.
That's a very bad. That's an actual failure.
Yes.
As you are walking away, you suddenly feel as though somebody has come up behind you and just hit you across the back of the head with something. It actually causes you to stumble forward. And for a moment, it's like you're cross-eyed. And as you look around, nothing looks right. And as you look back at the pawn shop, it's no longer a store with a doorway. It's a giant arch with thorns around it.
I would walk back immediately.
and along the roadway where it had been that concrete wall that goes along the sidewalk, that is all brush and bramble and twisted vines, and you see little eyes staring out at you from inside of it.
Oh, I shouldn't be here. It's not good to be here, I don't think.
And when you get close to the front door, you see this little tiny, it almost looks like a peach hanging from one of the branches. There are lots of thorns around it, however.
Oh. I'll try to grab it.
As you reach for it, the thorns form into like a mouth around it, and they're just standing there, and they're actually shaking the closer your hand gets.
Okay, I would not grab it if I saw that. Can I enter the archway? Is there a person or a goblin or anything?
There is nothing in the archway, but inside a little ways back, you see a very large creature, very muscular, with a small head, a long beak, two very large eyes, and its head kind of bobbles back and forth as it sits there like this.
Is that, are you Eli? Hello?
Ah!
I shouldn't be here. I don't know how I got here. Can you get Denny?
He looks around like he's terrified for a moment, and then he runs up really quick and like slams a door in your face, and everything goes back to normal.
Oh, Am I back in the pawn shop? Is it Eli?
You're standing outside the pawn shop. The doors close, and you see as Eli, human Eli, reaches up and turns off the open sign.
Oh.
And just kind of tries to, and he does it really slow, like maybe you won't see him.
Thank you. And I will take out the stun gun. I'll have my hand on it from now on as I'm walking back, and I'll walk like a weird path. That way someone doesn't follow me back to base, hopefully. Oh, that was awful. Woo.
When you make it back, you happen to catch glance of your watch, and you realize you really only it wasn't that long of a walk there. Couldn't have been that long of a walk back, and you didn't spend that much time in there. Maybe what, 30, 45 minutes talking with Denny?
Yeah.
But it seems like, according to your watch, a couple of hours have passed.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. Don't like that. Thanks.
And you arrive back at the door, and you see as the camera pans around to you, and then you hear a bzzz as the lock is undone by your surveillance officer.
Thank you. I would have been there for the choosing of the name, right? I would know to call him.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Luffy. And she'll walk in.
And he turns and kind of salutes and, never worry about it, Toots.
Oh. Oh no. Alrighty. I was about to say maybe I'd go question the panda a little bit, but I don't know if I want to talk to him anymore. Okay.
They let him pick his own voice. Yeah.
Cool. Well, great. Until the rest of the party gets here, I think I would go ahead and chat with Osbert if he's around.
He is not. He actually slipped out after showing you guys everything, and nobody even said, "Where's Osbert?" He just kind of went out the door.
Interesting. Okay. Then she would probably just go rest, try to figure out what happened to her until everyone comes back. Or check her phone for any messages if she needs to meet up with them.
The rest of you are back in the vehicle, headed back from your meeting with Mr. Stapico. And last you were discussing the virtues of genocide, I believe is where we left off.
Genocide is a strong word, personally.
That's what it would be, Eddie. Sorry, Penelope.
Why don't we ask Lovey what he thinks?
I have a feeling he's not really going to want to be genocided. Sorry, Mr. Reed.
No. I mean, these are all great ideas, but maybe not things to talk about in the car. And I just kind of point at the driver.
Well, yeah, sure.
It's okay, sir. I don't listen to what's going on in the car. Only when I am personally acknowledged do I respond. I am just here as a driver. I don't know anything about animated stuffed animals or genocide or people getting hurt by forks and claws. I didn't hear any of that.
Yep, you clearly didn't get a word of it.
Look, it's a movie idea, and it's kind of getting copyrighted. So if you can, you'd get in trouble if you did say anything about it.
What are you going to make him sign an NDA?
Well, I mean, no, because he said he'd keep it a secret, but you know what I mean?
Okay. Cool. Who's going to be in it? Are you going to have that Cruz fella in it? Because I really don't like him that much. Maybe if you can get that. What's the muscular guy?
Terry Crews.
Oh, there's a good one. I like him. He's funny.
Yeah, he's going to play the big rabbit. He's going to, you know what I mean?
I could see him as a big rabbit. And he kind of turns around and takes his hands. I mean, he'd just be great. I've seen him in so many roles.
Eyes on the road. Eyes on the road.
Oh, sorry.
Also, hands on the wheel. Just
okay. Got it.
Watch out for homeless guys. It's been a real problem lately.
Yeah, I know. They're just like everywhere, aren't they? You know what it is? It's It's the economy that's doing it. Okay. There's so much stuff that's been put out, and they're not doing anything about the eye. And he just goes on for a tirade at this point.
Yeah.
Feel free to tune him out if you'd like. Have your own conversation, because he's not going to notice.
Okay, so right now we just need to get back and I guess sleep on it. Because these are really not comfortable options no matter what happens.
At the very least, I want to talk to Miss Harley. I mean, she's got to be able to help some of these things. I mean, they're not all bad. And maybe she can even do something for I forgot her name, the one with the pull string.
She could do her like her thing where she can like get visions. Maybe she can do that with them. Maybe we can find out more.
Well, yeah, maybe. But if she still has that arm, I'm sure they'd appreciate to have it back. And then also, I mean, they're probably dealing with all kinds of emotional trauma. I wouldn't even imagine what being on a shelf for all those years does. I mean, just look at Mr. Stapico.
Look, one of them pulled a switchblade on me. All right. Now I understand emotional trauma, but doesn't mean we need to let him run rampant all over Chicago.
Well, yeah, that's not the goal. But imagine sitting in place, staring at the same wall for years. You'd be pretty damn crazy.
Look, I'm sorry. I know I'm just a driver, but I got to say, I didn't really feel the emotion in that exchange you guys just did there. It just didn't really, you got to put more into the reading.
Oh,
And
don't
one
worry.
of them pulled a switchblade on me. I understand emotional trauma.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
get it.
That's not a license to run rampant all over Chicago.
I understand that, but imagine you're sitting there on a shelf looking at a wall for like 5-10 years. It's a wonder they're not crazy already.
Who says they're not?
I don't know.
Then all the more reason to get them help.
Right? It's great,
awesome.
right? Isn't it awesome? It's great. Oh, incredible. Yeah, let's wait till we get home to discuss more of this script.
Agree.
If I could put in a suggestion, my grandmother, she used to read tea leaves. So it was always kind of cool when, somebody needed to know what was going to happen in the future or needed advice. She'd make a thing of tea and read the tea leaves.
Does she not have a card, like a business card?
Well, she lives in the Czech Republic, but I could kind of maybe find something for you.
I was kind of hoping she was local. It's fine.
No, afraid not. And that's another problem. It's the laws to come into this country. People who really want to work. I mean, do you know? Just like you. I mean, if you had somebody who could read, you'd probably put her in your movie.
Yeah,
probably 100%.
I mean, we could always try digital consulting. There's meeting softwares. Perhaps we could call her in over the internet.
Yeah. I'm afraid she lives in a village where they're still piping in sunshine. I don't know that they've got much of a data signal there.
Oh, yeah. I guess
it's okay. If we really want tea leaves read, I'm sure we can find somebody local.
Well,
sorry, Rebecca, go on.
I just said that was fair. Sorry.
At this point, Penelope would send a message to Eddie on the phone, and she would message him about along the lines of, I think the written story of roughly what's going on could be good. It seems to be well received by the driver. If we could introduce people to this fictionally, it would be easier to believe it actually happened.
Eddie messages back a thumbs up emoji.
Well, I message Harley and I say that I'm joking. It's okay.
I'm sorry. Did the tea leaf thing bother you guys? Oh, we're almost here. Here we go. Here we go. If you use the tea leaves, let me know, because I want to let my grandma know that she's in it. She won't ever be able to see it, of course, but she'd probably like to know that she was in it.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
100%. 100%.
Her name's Estrid, by the way, if you want to use her name in it.
Of
It's a
course.
good one.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
a pretty good name. It's a good grandmotherly name.
And what was
Yeah.
your name, sir?
Emilio.
Okay, great. Thank you. We will keep that in mind.
Amelia. Yeah.
So who's paying?
I already gave him $200.
I
That
thought
was
this
that was
paid
to
for-
wait. That was to wait.
That's fair.
I mean, he can try to have a conversation about it, but I'm not giving him more money.
So you guys, this was great. Who's paying for the trip? It's
Not it. I bought the pizza.
23.57.
I'll give you 50 if you can run me down to the convenience store. I need to pick up
Sure.
some supplies for an experiment.
Sure, no problem. Everybody else going, or?
Yeah, we're getting out of the car. Bilkins will see you in the,
I'll meet you back at the workshop,
appreciate
Well,
it.
if
the
it's all right,
drama room.
The green room.
if it's all right, I'll go with you so that
Not all
you don't have to
right.
carry
I'll
all
be
the supplies.
fine, young Anthony. Thank you.
I insist.
I insist you stay, and I'm quite a bit older than you. I can handle myself. Thank you.
I don't doubt that you can handle yourself, but I understand we're equal partners, remember? See, I'm an adult and an equal member of this team, so I insist.
I could
You will
almost
wait in the
believe you two
car.
are related.
And you will not come in with me.
This is like
I'll wait in
Goodwill
the car.
Hunting.
We're very
All right,
close,
you can
team.
come.
Though.
I'll pat Anthony on the shoulder as I get out of the car. It's difficult, I know. Sorry.
Not heavy, he's my friend.
You guys are amazing, but I got to tell you, your studio's kind of a dump.
Actually, it's a junkyard.
We actually
Okay.
come here looking for props.
Sure. Yes, exactly.
No, I assume they have airplane parts. They seem to have everything else.
Exactly. Thank you very much once again. It was a pleasure. Love the mustache on the front. Really nice, classy.
They make me put that on there.
It's great. And thank you very much again for your ideas. We'll keep that in mind 100%.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
great. Oh, dude, don't forget your shovel.
Thanks. I would hate to leave that behind. It's very important. Eddie goes and gets Maribel from the trunk.
And he will drive off with Bilkins down to what store are we looking for? Sundries or?
We're just looking for any kind of quick convenience store. Yeah.
All right. Some little bodega-ish place. All right, he finds you a place.
I'm looking for a place that has a burner phone specifically.
Burner phone. So you just assume because I drive a vehicle around for money that I must know where the lower class goes to get their burner phones. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm sorry. I didn't say anything of that nature.
I mean, do
I
I look like I would be apprised of criminal enterprises and I would know places to go gather such things?
you do not. That mustache on the front of your car clearly signifies that you don't have a criminal element in your body, but maybe you might have fallen on hard times in the past and have needed a quick way to contact someone at an affordable price.
And he pulls up in front of the pawn shop. But unfortunately, it's closed. Wow, that place is like never closed.
Hmm.
Here, there's a convenience store on down the way. Maybe they'll have what you want. And he
Do you
will
think
take you
this
down.
is worth checking out, Anthony?
Well, this is might be some other good props available for us there.
Maybe we'll circle back to it. Yeah, I think we should keep going to the convenience store.
Okay. So he takes you down to this place, and it looks like it'll have it because they've got other things, junky MP3 players and stuff hanging in the window. So there's enough stuff. You'll probably find what you want.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna buy a burner phone.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
All right. No problem. You get your burner phone.
I'm gonna try to conceal it on my person. Now, Anthony, it is vital in an experiment of this nature that we do not disclose the experiment to the subjects.
Of course, Mr. Bilkins. At some point, if you'd like to go over the notes to the experiment, I'd be happy to be a part.
As soon as the results are revealed, I will fill you in.
I suppose I'll have to accept that.
Also, did you know that Penelope was videotaping that whole exchange? And Lovey saw most of it, apparently. I'll show you the text that I got from Lovey.
Yeah, I kind of assume if she's around, it's getting recorded. I guess I figured Lovey might know. He asked us to keep comms open, so.
I think it's best not to worry the bear, don't you? If you remember, his text said, "If he dies, do I die?" Something to that effect.
It would probably be good. Maybe Miss Harley could talk to him. I mean, it sounds kind of outside of my depth.
What do we respond here? I'm sure you have nothing to worry about. I'll show Anthony. Does that sound all right? He wouldn't worry too much about that.
If a friend of mine was saying things like that, I would want to talk to them and see if they were all right and see what I could do to put their mind at ease. And regardless of how we feel about the possibilities with this individual, I think it's very important to remember that they're a person and a newborn at that. So.
I hit send. And do you need anything while we're here? You need to check in with your father or anything?
Yes, I should probably check in with him. But, I can't think of anything else I need right now. Some parts that I could use to work on my bot, but nothing we could pick up now.
All right. Let's head back to the group then.
Well, as you're headed back, it'll take a few minutes. Everyone else, you have arrived back at your safe house, and The doors, you're buzzed in as soon as you arrive because you've got on top of it surveillance bear. And inside is Harley.
Hey, Harley. How was your evening?
Oh, it went quite well, actually. I think I got some useful tools and information for the most part. How about you?
There's a lot to discuss.
Oh, well, I'm gladly going to impart what I discovered as well. Were y'all followed at all? Did anyone try to mess with you guys on your way back?
Not that we could tell.
Okay. Okay.
We are
Well, great.
just we are waiting for Anthony and Wilkins have just gone to the shops. Once they're back, if we could hear what happened with you if you like.
Sure.
Are you all right?
Oh, yes, for the most part. Mostly I'm great. Just had a weird experience I'd like to share with you guys. Do you know where Osbert went?
Maybe back to his alley.
Well,
Just
it doesn't
kidding. He
seem
said
very safe.
he said the runes were broken anyway.
Yeah.
So I actually don't know.
Hmm.
I assumed him and his friend just went for a catch up.
Oh, well, I was hoping I could talk to him about what happened as well. But
Speaking of
that's okay.
Speaking of catching up, I'm gonna go check on Lovey. And Penelope will go and check on Lovey.
And he's sitting there just hitting all the cameras and stuff, looking over. And when you come over, the little corners of his mouth curl up.
She runs over and gives him a big cuddle. Yeah. She gives him a big cuddle. Just, I'm so proud of you. You did so good. Well done. You're doing amazing. Are you happy here? Are you enjoying it? Yeah? Okay, as long as you're happy, that's the main thing. If you ever want a break, if you ever want to come join us, if you ever want to just see us or anything like that, just let us know, okay?
You got it, Toots.
Thanks, Lovey. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go have a conversation to clear my thoughts. Eddie goes and finds somewhere private with the shovel. Maribel.
Okay. Well, you've got your tent. There's the shooting range. There's the library.
I don't know about the library.
There's the med ward. Got that too. So.
Okay. Just anywhere where no one else is. So I guess I'll go to the med ward. Sounds good.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing while Eddie is conversing with the shovel?
Probably filling Harley in on most of the details, absent the conclusions that we had come to that we were opposed to as a group, and letting her kind of sip through it. And she doesn't know, so I'd actually have to tell her, wouldn't I?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
I no power, could not watch. I'm so sorry.
Oh, good. So basically, we went down to a warehouse on the docks, met up with some dolls, including that one that had called me, Allison. We went and met the big head honcho, Mr. Stupico. We were right about that. He gave us his story about his golden heart and how he was trying to help Mr. Hemiker by removing the bad stuff from his blood. I'm assuming something like cancer. Unfortunately, he didn't quite understand the ramifications of his actions. Then he went off and accidentally started imbuing other stuffed creatures with emotions, love, hate, anger, pride, all that kind of stuff. And basically, it's kind of coming down to, he asked us to give him a day, or I guess a night. He wants us to see him in the morning, on whether or not we're gonna try and stop this outbreak, or if he is capable of stopping this outbreak, or if we need to deal with him. Something about his golden heart seems like quite literal, so I'm assuming it's some kind of weird magical artifact. And it's a difficult decision now because the dolls themselves can activate other dolls, apparently, or other
Oh.
toys. So it's gonna become an epidemic, I guess. Hey, kitty. And we kind of have to decide, I guess, whether or not something like a genocide of these terrible of these dolls is okay. And I mean, I'm not for it.
Well,
Society.
can't we just section them off somewhere and let them have their own little sentient, say, almost practically no, just sentient, not sapient. Little safe haven somewhere, almost like Island of Misfit Toys, kind of. Put them somewhere where they can't escape, maybe, or would it be a mercy to kill them?
Well, a lot of them have trauma from being treated like toys because obviously they weren't always sentient. So
Sure.
a lot of them are angry.
Oh, well, I mean that can be dealt with proper care, and they probably you can't medicate stuffed animals, but I mean it sounds like a lot of them would have shared trauma, maybe group therapy. I can I can help. I'd like to help them if I
Yeah,
can.
yeah. That's sort of where I'm at right now. It's kind of like they learn, they think, and they feel. So it's pretty hard to justify harming them at this point.
Oh well, I mean I can't even imagine to live a life where you have no say in anything that happens to you, be abandoned, thrown around, torn up, and then just suddenly be given sentience. I'm it. I, I I believe in people being held accountable for their actions, but I do recognize that this is a rather traumatic and uncomparable experience that these creatures are having, and I agree with you. I really think we should do our best to help them rather than hurt them.
Agreed. There's also the possibility that hurting some of them would foster hatred in their
Of course.
community. And I mean, if they start getting out and turning tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of toys into sentient beings, all aimed at people, a lot of people are gonna die. So
Yes. Well, I'm glad we have the information that we have now, and whatever we need to do it quickly.
yeah, I I am extremely curious about this golden heart, though. It's got to be the source of this, right? Like, it's the only thing that sticks out. I mean,
I mean, so if Stupiko is suddenly giving these creatures emotions, I don't understand what the catalyst for that would be, because supposedly based on the memories of those photos that I had, he's had these emotions for a very long time. So you'd think he would have infected other stuffed animals before now. I was the death of Mr. Hemaker the catalyst? Did that suddenly? I don't know if
no.
the blood or that's kind of gross. The ritualist. I don't. Maybe Bilkins might know. some kind of ritualistic enablement?
No, that was, he was trying as far as we could discern to mop up the blood with his little canvas hands. So
Yes, so maybe that's somehow having blood on his paws, both literally, metaphorically, allowed him to be able to give other animals these emotions because he's never done it before.
possible.
Very, very troubling.
He said that his something about him made Mrs. Hemaker sterile. So there's something in his construction that ain't right. Maybe it's radioactive. I know it sounds pretty sci-fi, but
Well,
shit, right?
would Mr. Stupico be willing to die for that?
He said he might be.
Oh, okay. Well, I can kind of try to coach him through that and help him come to terms. But if this heart really is going to be a problem, then killing a few for many might be our option. I've been informed that this stake is actually quite capable of doing the job that it sounds like may need to be done. I'm sure the shovel as well.
It's if it's radioactive, I don't want us touching it. Obviously, I don't want anyone getting cancer or going barren. So we're struggling with that, and I want you to be able to touch it to get its history, but I don't want you to touch it because it could be dangerous. So.
Well, I mean, it seems Mr. and Mrs. Hemmicker were together for quite a long while, and he didn't really have trouble with cancer until late into his life. So, I mean, any one of us could potentially develop cancer. It's just one of those things. I'd be willing to touch it. I don't really mind fertility or what have you. I mean, that's all fine.
Yeah. So maybe we don't have to kill him. Maybe it's just open heart surgery to figure out what the hell it is.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we don't know how to approach it without knowing what it is. I understand Stupico gave the emotions, but what's mechanizing these creatures and outfitting them with weapons? Are they doing it themselves? How are they able to move?
It seems like it's some kind of defense mechanism. Obviously, if you woke up in a world that you thought was traumatic and hostile, you'd try to defend yourself. And I mean, I'm sure plenty of them have problems too. So.
But they're robotic inside. I mean, most of those stuffed animals aren't naturally equipped with that, right?
They're not robotic inside. They're just animated.
Harley,
like magic.
You feel a tug at your pant leg.
Yes. Hello.
And there's a small panda bear standing there looking up at you.
Hi, sweetheart. Are you okay? Oh, yes. She'll go ahead and pick it up and kind of hold it against her chest and I have a panda. Hold
on. While she's away, Eddie, how is this going with your shovel? Tell me how you're approaching this particular situation.
All right.
Give me just a second. We're gonna handle Eddie for just a moment, and then I'll come back.
Sure.
Sorry.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah. Guess I'll turn the lights off. Probably, I don't know, lock the door. Because he doesn't want anyone to walk in when I'm talking to a shovel. He takes Maribel and he goes, right. I would say I can't believe I'm talking to a shovel, but my sense of disbelief has been worn a little thin. So I'm feeling very accepting. I guess I'm your new partner. My name's Eddie. Nice to meet you, Maribel, I guess. I'm not as skilled or as strong as your last partner, and I have less of an idea of what to do, too. It's not like I want to kill all the dolls, but I can't see a future where we coexist with them. Like a lot of them don't even seem very happy to be alive. Maybe we can avoid all war for him. I don't know. I doubt it'll be so convenient, but whatever we do, I feel like I'll probably need you. So I don't, I don't know what I expected from talking to a shovel. I guess I'm at the end of my rope.
Give me a resolve and empathy roll, please.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, one sec. Okay. Yep. All right. That is 4 successes.
Awesome. Aside from talking to the shovel, what are kind of the thoughts going through Eddie's mind right now? What is he thinking about in general? I mean, beer, pizza, girls, movies, cars, murder, genocide.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
He's definitely agonizing over the potential that of committing genocide and the fact that he had to bring it up. Although probably he's also thinking of like Penelope.
You sit there for a few minutes and don't really, you're talking to the shovel, you feel kind of stupid, and then suddenly in the back of your mind you hear, "Oh, sugar, it'll be okay, sweetie. Don't let it bother you."
Oh my God, Maribel, did you just talk to me?
Yeah, wait a minute. Where's Loverboy? Who are you?
Like I said, sorry, I guess you didn't hear that part. I'm your new partner. My name's Eddie.
I guess I wore out the old one. He just couldn't take all of me.
Yeah, well, nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too, sugar. I'm a lot to handle, but I'm good in a fight.
Great, because I'm not as skilled as he was, but maybe we'll
Oh,
work
that's
on that.
okay, sweetie. I'll teach you everything you need to know.
Don't know how to feel about that, but okay.
And
right.
it starts explaining how things function, how you use a shovel to bash someone's head in, and it does it in the sweetest, most southern, affectionate way it can come up with. And you just deliver the love, one pounding slam at a time, and then if you really need, you can sever off all the negativity using the edge of the blade. And
Not sure about the phrasing, but all right, I'll take it.
all right, so you can spend as much time talking to your newfound friend as you would like.
Yeah, sure. Maybe he'll go try and find something to practice on.
All right, there are plenty of things in the shooting range apparently, so
Yep. That's probably where he'll go next.
all right, let me jump back over here to Harley and the panda. So the panda hugs you, and then it takes your hand and it puts it on it, and it kind of squeezes to say, like, squeeze it, and then it takes, and as you're holding on, it bends its arm and twists it around in a way that nothing mechanical could.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
And then it kind of goes, kind of punches on its chest, and
Yeah, it's more like just magic.
Thank you for
Harley.
the demonstration. We did see one that was mechanical, though, didn't we? And that was just an off chance?
I don't think any of them are mechanical, honey.
Oh. I must be remembering wrong. I'm sorry. I was in the head earlier.
You were whoa. What? What happened?
It's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. We really don't know where Osbert is.
I can text him.
Yes, please do.
All right, I'll bring up Osbert's number.
As she does this, the bear hugs you once more. And I'm getting the feeling you're finding this bear kind of cute and you're very empathetic with it, I would think. Give me a wits empathy roll, please.
One success.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had slightly more than that.
Oh,
The bear reaches up and puts his hands on either side of your head. And suddenly, for a moment, you see your face through its eyes.
oh, I don't like that.
And then the world kind of fades away and you're in an alley inside of a trash bag. And you hear something move outside. And all you can think of is, he seems so sad. And you try to get out of the bag, but you can't, because as you try and pull on it with your paws, you just can't rip through the plastic. It's too strong and your hands slip off of it. And you're just struggling and struggling and struggling. And you try to yell out, but no sound comes out. And you look down and you see your little black teddy bear arms and your little white and black teddy bear chest. And you just, you hold your head in your hands and then you look again and you try and you just keep digging around until you find something that allows you to cut through the plastic. And you're able to get out just a little bit. And you just basically have just an eye sticking out. And beside you, you see this giant bunny who turns and looks down, reaches over with his mittened hands and opens the bag up and takes you out and holds you and starts talking to you. I'm sorry, little fella. I'm not in a good place. I've had a really bad night. I did a really bad thing, and I think I hurt somebody. And you are the panda bear. Harley, what do you do?
I would give Mr. Stopico some pats.
Little fella, you're so sweet, and I gotta tell you, it's hard to have all these things inside because I'm just not used to them, and nobody ever told me how to handle these things, and I just don't know what to do, and it just. Wait a minute. Hey, come here, little fella. Yeah. And you suddenly start to feel this growing sense of yearning, a bit of joy, but also loneliness, because you feel like you should be with someone, but you don't know who it is and you can't find them, and you feel all alone. And the big bunny looks down at you and, I'm sorry, little guy, but I just had to let go of the pain, and you're not big and ugly like me. Somebody will love you. You're not covered in the red stuff. Somebody will find you. Somebody will want you, and I hope you can forgive me. And he stands up and leaves you sitting in the alley alone. And you are back looking into the eyes of the panda bear.
Do I lose a willpower?
No, you do not.
Whoa!
No, this is
Nice.
a storyteller advanced one, so.
Nice. Okay. A lot of things have happened in Harley's brain today that she did not invite. All right.
About this time, Mr. Reed and Mr. Bilkins arrive back, They have to wait a few minutes because there's nobody at the console to buzz them in. So they're either going to have to use the lock or wait. What would you like to do?
I was
Yeah.
in the security room with Lovey. If he left, I mean, it could have been like she kept an eye on it, so I could let
Okay.
them in. If
All right. So
possible.
you buzz them in. All right. So all of you are back in the same place. And I think this will be a good point to take a break, and we'll come back with all of you in the room together and see what you're going to do. We will be back in 5 minutes. Did myself instead of changing the screen.
Woo,
So,
yay!
hello, we're back now because I finally figured out how to push the correct buttons. And I don't think I'm muted this time. So anyway, professional quality showmanship here. That's what we got. All right, so all of you are back together. You've all had a lot of adventures. A lot to talk about, I think. But that's entirely up to you how you want to proceed from this moment. It is about, let's say 11 o'clock at night, just to make it a good round number. But you've slept most of the day, so.
Bilkins, you're back. Hey, Anthony.
Levy will excuse himself back to the surveillance room because he knows his job.
Miss Harley?
Oh, yes. How are you? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, but I don't know how much you know about what happened tonight. Well, you were gone, but
Rebecca filled me in a little bit. It sounds like a tragedy, to be
Oh,
honest, how I
wonderful.
look at
Then
it.
we're all up to speed. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to go to the library to see if I can find anything on the Golden Heart.
Not a bad idea, Bilkins. Harley, did you want to tell us what happened with your day?
Oh, sure, yes. Yes, no, Anthony, did you have anything else to say on it? I mean, my opinion is we should help them in any way we can.
well, I agree. Sorry.
No, that was all.
The please tell us what happened with your day, but there's someone I'm a little bit concerned about, and I wonder if you could talk with them when you have a chance.
Oh.
Just it can wait for now.
Of course. Yes. Well, so I actually, before we get to what happened with me then, what happened to me just now, which ties into everything, is I apparently am capable of reading into the emotions and previous experiences of these stuffed animals. Because when I just held this panda, I saw what happened to him, and as you told me, Stupico was covered in blood and very scared. And I think he brought the panda to life first, actually, and it was out of fear and need for emotional investment in another thing more than anything else. So I don't think he meant harm by giving sentience to anything, at least to start. So I thought that was useful information for you. It corroborates what he said to you guys, in case you had any doubt that he was telling the truth.
I thought you just zoned out for a bit, but yeah, no, that makes sense.
Oh no, no, I'm not prone to dissociating. It was the panda. I'm glad he was willing to share that with me. I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything else tonight was actually very nice for the most part. You weren't able to get a hold of Osbert?
I sent him a text asking where the hell he's at. I assume he'll ring me back as soon as he can or feels like it. You know that man.
Oh, okay. Well, so I went to go see Denny, actually. I don't think I let any of you know where I was going. I was still just very interested in that route, since he had been kind of involved in the beginning, and Osbert seemed to know him. So I felt safe enough, based on Osbert's knowledge of him and not warning us not to go see him, And I met him, and he's actually a quite charming individual, and I really enjoyed talking to him. He didn't really he didn't give the panda to Penelope in bad faith, and he actually says that it just showed up in his store one day, and he doesn't really know much about what's going on, but he has a lot of wares and connections to some of what Osbert has told us about on the other side of the hedge. So he did really insist if we need any weapons or anything, we can go to him if what we have in the armory isn't enough to suit us. But he's on our side. I mean, I personally felt like befriending him, and that we had a nice conversation. I didn't speak for all of us, but I consider him an ally, but unfortunately he doesn't have much information. But I did tell him that if anything suspicious shows up in the pawn shop to let me know and contact me, and I could go and try to see the memory of the item and go from there.
Wait, so Mr. Matthews is a fucking magical arms dealer?
Yes, yes, arms and other things. Yes, he's actually the person that made that shovel of Eddie's quite potent in what it does. He's a really nice guy.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he's a nice guy, and I'm glad he's on our side. I guess I keep getting blown away. It's like I'm gonna go up to my local ice cream shop, and actually, this is a 6,000-year-old dragon who has been making ice cream since before mankind was born. Like, oh my god.
Perhaps, but yes, no, I think he's quite upstanding based on what he said, and he may be able to get us things we need, and might already have some things. He actually outfitted me with a couple more forms of protection. So I have a stun gun now. It was very fun, very powerful. I'll be careful with it, I promise. And then this is the part that I was hoping Osbert would be here for, but on my way back, I think someone saw that I had been in the pawn shop, and they hit me, and I went over there, the other side.
The
I-
other
I-
side? Did you die?
No, not the afterlife. The hedge, the fantasy, the place, yes. I didn't think I was even capable of that, but apparently this person was capable of sending me there, and then I was there. I didn't really know what to do, so I just went back to the pawn shop because I thought maybe Denny could help me. And I got there, and his assistant helped me get back. But it seems, unless my knowledge of how much time I spent talking to Denny is skewed, I was there for what felt to me like minutes, but in our world was hours. So if for any reason we need to go there, or we need to be prepared to waste time in this world. And it's rather unnerving that someone's capable of sending us there, especially because, I mean, based on what Denny said, if I get caught there, I don't even, that something might happen. I don't think we're supposed to be there.
So somebody bonked you so hard that you went to the Fey realm?
Yes, and but they didn't. It didn't hurt me. It almost felt more like I don't know, like a threat. I don't know. It was scary. I'm not sure what it was or what the motive was behind it, but I made sure that whenever I returned, I came back to the base. I just walked. It wasn't very far. I made sure I took a weird path, and I don't think I was followed, but it's quite concerning. It's very weird there. Very, very, very uncomfortable. I don't plan on going back soon.
I don't blame you. This day is just, these last few days really have just been the weirdest of our lives by
Yes,
a very
yes.
wide margin. Okay. So, Mr. Stupico asked us to give him till morning to see if he could gather up the other dolls and try and talk sense into him, but I don't know. This is all nuts. It's all crazy at this point. So I guess we wait till morning unless y'all have something else to do. I know Bilkins, you were gonna go into the library and such.
Oh yeah, I was already over there. I
Yeah,
did
he
not
left. He
stay for
didn't
this
hear me out.
conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I figured.
I'm sure Bilkins will find what he needs. And whenever Boris decides to get back to me, I guess I'll ask him what his thoughts forward are.
Yes, I'd really like to talk to him about what happened. I assume it takes a very specific person or skill set to be able to do what was done to me, and that might be someone worth finding.
Yeah.
Uh, um, actually, it kind of gave me an idea. So if they can't uh, stay with us on this side, and because they're kind of dangerous sometimes when they wake up, I wonder if maybe somewhere over there they might have some room. I don't know.
Oh, with the Fae?
Well, I mean, stranger things have happened, right? I mean, the stuffed animals that are alive and fairy creatures. I don't know. Just kind of sounds like they'd get along. Maybe I'm a little
Oh,
naive.
no, we can talk to Denny about it. We can talk to Osbert about it. I don't disagree with you. Like I said, I think keeping them somewhere where they can be safe and recover and just be happy creatures. I think that's our best shot.
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly.
It's just
Speaking of
how
happy,
we deal with
I'm sorry.
Stupico, I think, is the main question.
Well, it's kind of about that I wanted you to talk to my friend. Um, Lovey is kind of worried about what'll happen if something happens to Mr. Stupico. He's worried whether or not he'll die.
Oh, if the source of the emotion, the golden heart, perhaps is destroyed, it might destroy all of them. Yeah,
And
that's an interesting thought.
when did he say that?
Just it's look. All I know is he said it, and I'm worried about him.
He hasn't said anything to me about it.
No, he probably
Well,
doesn't want to worry you.
Yeah, he cares about you a lot. I doubt he'd mention that. He'd probably prefer to risk what happens to him than risk you being hurt by other animals with ill intent.
I might talk to him about it.
I hope that somebody will. I'm just worried about him dealing with that on his own. I mean, it's a lot.
Maybe we could all talk to him about it so that way he feels part of the team.
Well, actually, as a matter of fact, Penelope had a really great idea, and maybe we could tie it together. I was gonna make him some armor, and I thought maybe all of you could write something on each of the pieces so that it would feel like it was special from all of us.
That's wonderful. Of course.
It's a really good idea, actually, Anthony.
Yeah, well, especially if he's acting as security, he should be outfitted.
Well, it's not my idea; it's Penelope's. She's the real head of this business partnership. You can tell.
Well, I think you're all lovely, smart individuals. I'm happy to go along with that.
At this point, Eddie walks out of the shooting range, looking like he's worked up a sweat, carrying the shovel. What
You
are we
two
going
have
along with?
fun?
Oh yeah, yeah, just getting in a little practice. Did I
Did
miss
you know
something?
that shovel has silver at the end? Isn't that cool?
Yeah, actually, I did notice that. It's pretty cool.
It's quite nice. Were you able
Yeah.
to talk to her?
Not sure why you're using quotes, but yeah.
Oh, it was a literal talk to her.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
wonderful.
Well, does she talk back? Is this like a animated item or?
I wouldn't say animated. But yeah, I learned a few things from her.
Good news in my book. But Anthony brought up how we might want to make some armor for Levy and sign it or write nice messages on it so he feels like he's more part of the team.
Okay, sure. Means he's gonna be rolling into battle with us, or what kind of armor are we talking?
No, more ceremonial than anything.
Gotcha.
Just
Okay.
something to look at.
I mean,
But-
he wants to wield a weapon, so maybe
That sounds
armor
pretty
makes him
cute.
feel better. Sorry,
Whitson.
Anthony.
I need a wits and composure from everyone, please, except Bilkins because he's in another room.
Sure thing.
So almost everyone.
That's all it is.
Bilkins, are you actually going to be looking for something in the library?
I think I'm going to try, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in there. So
Okay.
when I walk in, I try to talk to the voice, the claw, the voice thing. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go around the area here. Anthony, Harley.
Could you repeat the question? Sorry.
I was wondering what you rolled.
Oh, what are we rolling? Oh my gosh.
Wits and composure.
Wits and
Wits and
composure.
composure.
I failed.
What's hilarious is that is a perception check in the world of darkness.
Yes. Oh, I did actually very well.
Eddie, I got yours. Penelope
2.
and Rebecca.
Omega botch.
4.
Wow.
Surprisingly. Yeah, I came through.
Bilkins, go ahead and give me an intellect and academics, and I'll come back to you in a moment on that. So everybody except Rebecca notices as the door to the surveillance room opens, and a little bear comes walking out. His headset's taken off, his phone's in his hand, and they're just kind of dragging him, and he's got his head down, and he walks over to Penelope's tent, unzips it, leaves all the stuff outside, climbs inside. You hear it zip back.
Excuse me a moment.
And then there's a knock at the front door.
Oh. I'll check the cams and I'll go to security.
I'm going to go in the tent with Lovey.
All right. When you get into the tent, you don't see Lovey. But you do see a small bump deep down in the bed inside the sleeping bag.
Lovey, are you okay?
And it kind of moves further down. It just kind of worms its way down further into the foot of the sleeping bag.
Lovey, can you send me a message? Like a text or so letting me know that you're okay?
And it moves even further down. It can't go any farther. It's now at the foot of the sleeping bag.
Lovey, what are you doing? Come out. And she kind of goes in the sleeping bag.
And down at the end of this hole, you see these blue eyes, the saddest puppy dog eyes you've ever seen. And the whole mouth is just turned down, and his face is drooping.
Why is that?
And he slowly makes his way out and edges past you and grabs the phone outside the tent and sets it down next to you. And it's the scene in the Toy Story series where
Oh,
Woody has just
no.
learned about all the toys in the boxes that never get played with.
Lovey, I warned you that this film does have really sad scenes in it, Lovey. It's
He
not
just
real.
looks up
It's
at you.
it's
He
not a
kind
real
of
film. Oh, it's okay. She gives him a big cuddle. It's not real. It's just a film. It's not real. I know. It's not real. Why? I know. I know. She's just stroking his head and like being just like trying to comfort him.
Harley, when you make your way into the surveillance room, you see Warren standing outside looking very unhappy. He's looking at the phone and he's hitting on it. Then you hear the door and you see as he, there's a slight delay and you see as he's banging on the door and you hear it. And
Yes, I'd let him in.
he comes in and, what? How the hell do you use this thing?
You not know how to text, Warren? Are you fucking serious?
I'm not a technology kind of a guy.
Why do you even have a phone?
I thought you said I needed one.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a good way to contact you. I mean, at least you got my message, right? Fuck.
Yeah. Now I guess I'm at your beck and call.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're the veteran. We're relying on your experience.
All right, what do you need?
Well, I know, Harley was wanting to talk to you. And there's a bunch of stuff we need to divulge about what happened when we, went to the warehouse. And
Were there any demons?
They were not demons, I don't think.
Not my problem then. Hey, where's the funny annoying little guy?
He's in the library right now.
All right, and I'm going to check in with Bilkins real quick. Bilkins, how did it go?
3 successes.
Okay. You were looking specifically for things about golden hearts, I believe.
Yeah. So I tried to, because you said last time when I stepped in, I felt like an eerie feeling. So before I started looking for stuff, I kind of talked to the air like, librarian, and I step in real slowly and hesitantly. I mean the books no harm. Please don't attack me with your claw again. That was very frightening. I have many books of my own and I respect them and academics, and I know what it means for someone to take a book and not give it back. Like stupid Professor Slayton. But I promise you, I won't take anything out of here. I was wondering if you could just help me. I'm looking for a book. Something talking about a golden heart. I don't really know what I'm looking for, but as the librarian, you must, keep good records of what's in the books, and maybe you can point me in the right direction.
As you are watching, first, because as I know what this is going to accomplish here, I need a wits and composure from you. Because as you are saying this, an eye forms on the wall across from you, a large eye. It's about a foot in diameter. And it looks you up and down, listens to what you're looking for, and then slowly moves towards you. How did your roll go?
No successes, 1 critical failure.
All right. You take on a condition known as shaken, because you have just seen a disembodied eye appear out of nowhere, look you up and down, and it is now moving across the room towards you. In order to resolve this, at some point you will have to confront a fear. And this will be done with a roll. And if you successfully do that, you will be able to shake the condition and you will earn a beat for that. But until such time, any roll that you have to do that involves composure, you're going to be at -1 to your die pool.
Okay.
All right. The eye moves past you, turns, goes down, and then goes up and down the shelves until it comes up on one book that slowly pulls out from the shelf and just sits there. The eye disappears.
I reach for the book hesitantly, and I'll try to read as much as I can, and I make note of the name of it and where it was in the library and stuff, so I can come back to it if I don't have time to read the whole thing.
What languages do you speak?
Shoot, none, I think.
Well, at least English, I would hope. But
I mean, English, yeah.
well, the style of this is a very old form of English. Give me an intelligence and academics, and let's see how well you can make this out.
Oh my god, I rolled 10 dice. 0. So
a combination of it being written in this older style of English and very, very poor handwriting, almost scribbling in places. It's very difficult for you to make out what it says. So might be something you have to come back to, but you do see a couple of illustrations in it. One of the illustrations is actually of a human heart made out of gold. And you can make out a couple of other things on the page. You make out a name of Warren and Edward.
I will snap just a picture of this page if I can, with my phone. Yeah, I figure I'll come back to it later.
Just a moment. As you take out your phone to do that and you hold it up there and you're just about to push the button, something slaps your phone out of your hand.
All right, how will I show other people this information?
No reply.
I try to snap one more picture.
It smacks it out of your hand again.
All right, have it your way then. No, I'll pick up my phone and head back to the group.
What are you doing with the book?
Oh, putting it back for sure. Yeah.
Okay, just thought I'd check. So.
Yeah, no.
All right. You exit the room and you see everybody but Penelope in the room, and Warren is there.
Have we decided to do anything? Are we going to stay here or go back in the morning? What have you all decided?
I assumed we were going back in the morning, yeah. Maybe a little bit more strapped. If you catch my meaning.
All right, so the plan is the plan is after telling this giant rabbit that we're going to decide what should be done with him and his 100 other stuffed animals. We're going to go back into that area to get their decision. That's the safest plan. This rabbit that's already murdered 2 people and possibly more.
That's why I said we go strapped. But he didn't kill us when he had the chance, right?
Well, I don't think I need to remind you, and he looks down at his leg. I don't think I need to remind you that we were almost murdered by one stuffed animal, and there were hundreds in that auditorium.
We's a strong word, Belkins, but I feel you.
Have you seen my leg lately? It hasn't even healed up, not even a little bit. I've had to change my pants twice since I've been back here.
Bilkins, I'm being facetious. I know, honey.
I just want to get this over with, okay? There's giant floating eyes in the library. There's stuffed animals attacking us at every turn. Our security guard's a stuffed animal, for God's sake.
What did you do in the library this time?
I went looking for a book and I don't know, the thing didn't like it or whatever. It looked me over. There's a giant floating eye.
I gotta ask you, Bilkins, how many times did you say "I" while you were in there?
A few times. I was trying to apologize to the thing.
Yeah, let me recommend. I usually say, "Lend me a hand." It's a little less creepy than the eye. It's the librarian.
Again, give us, less information about the dangerous, murderous floating eyes that you have about. Less information would be better, actually.
Fine, won't tell you anything.
That was sarcastic.
Miss Phillips,
just tell us about the dangerous things. All of the dangerous things that could murder us in this base that we're supposed to be operating out of. Just tell us.
Bilkins, I have a feeling you didn't have to change your pants because of your leg.
He's got some zingers, Bilkins, it seems.
That's the librarian. It wouldn't hurt you. It's there to help.
It's terrifying.
All right,
anyways, what's the plan? What have we decided?
I don't know that we've really decided it. I mean, we wanted, I guess, your input too. What do you think?
Oh, I gave my input yesterday and I got yelled at for it. So I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Well, I
That's
have
a nice
an idea
change. Sorry.
No, Miss Harley, I think that's more than fair. What I was going to say, though, is I do have another plan that'll maybe set your mind at ease a little bit, Mr. Bilkins. So I do want to work on that other project. He's in there, so keep quiet. But I wanted to work on something a little bit flashier, I guess. Rigging up a system to make a flamethrower, essentially. I think I have an idea of how it could work, and we could test it out in the firing range before we ever use it. And we could do it at a distance with a string, so that we can make sure the timing is right, so the can doesn't. But I still want to go and talk with them, and Miss Harley had a really interesting experience with the other side of the hedge. I think you said it was. But I wonder if there might be some space for them over there, and then they wouldn't be in the way here. They would have a place where there were other beings to give them the love and the affection they want, and well, I don't know. It just seems like it could be an answer. What do you think, Warren?
I think I'm trying to look at the encoding lag problem we're having that I was just told about. Look, you guys, you got to figure out how to do these things for yourself. I mean, they're not demons. That's my specialty.
For fuck's sake, is there a way to get to this Fey realm easily?
What is it you're trying to get from the Fey realm? I mean, what's this you're looking for?
I mean, Anthony just said there might be a split in the difference. Do you think the Fae would want a bunch of sentient dolls?
Do
The
you
lost
think
and
you want
forgotten,
to?
right?
Do you think you want to give the Fae a bunch of sentient things?
They're on the head. They're on the other side. The hell do we care?
Yeah, that's the kind of attitude that gets you into a lot of trouble. You know, some of those missing persons you got on your police rolls?
Yeah?
Well, what if they were taken to the other side?
I wouldn't be surprised, I guess, at this point. Now that I know it exists.
Who would be capable of doing that kind of thing?
Well, elves, pixies, fairies.
Do any of them tend to do it by smacking you on the head?
Smacking you on the head. What happened?
Yes. Well, I went to go see Denny, and he was rather nice. Actually, he was very kind. And on my way back from visiting him, I got whacked in the back of the head by someone. I didn't catch who it was, and then I ended up over there on the other side of the hedge for a little bit, and I panicked and I ran back to the pawn shop, and Eli, Denny's friend, just shut the door. I saw him in his true form, I suppose, and I came back and I lost hours while I was there. It was very unsettling, and I'm just curious how I can avoid it happening again or to anyone else.
He comes over and looks at the back of your head, kind of digs in your hair a little bit.
Oh.
I'm going to pause for just a second because I am having what appears to be a serious encoder issue, and I've had some people on the stream say that they're seeing it too.
No.
If someone would please note that I'm going to stop and restart the stream so I can try and clear it, because I'm not quite sure what the problem is, but I'm getting serious encoder errors on my side too, so there's definitely something wrong. Okay, so just let them know I'm going to stop the stream. I don't want to do it until they know, and then I'm going to hit the button.
Okay, we are temporarily pausing the stream.
OBS is just being difficult.
Weird.
Yeah, because right there it just totally paused out on me. So
yeah, no, I was